Welcome everyone to another session of the Product Management View webinar series. Every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, product management professionals can pick up the latest in thought leadership, tips, and tricks. Ken Molay has been producing and delivering business webinars since 1999. His background in public speaking, radio, stage acting, and corporate training has given him a unique perspective on what it takes to create and deliver compelling and effective presentations. Ken has a background in software development and marketing, working for companies such as Advanced Micro Devices, Syntelligence, Blaze Software, Brocat, HNC Software, and Fair Isaac. He has acted as development manager, product manager, and product marketing manager. In more than 20 years of professional experience, Ken has presented public sessions at numerous industry conferences, as well as presenting information to customers, sales prospects, industry analysts, and the press. Take it away, Ken.
Well, thank you for that introduction, James. And I'd like to thank FeaturePlan for setting up this event and making it available for free. This is a great series of webinars for product managers, and I'm going to do my best to add to the collection of tips and guidelines you've been delivering. Well, since all of you took time out of your busy day to hear how to make your webinars more effective, we'd better start by defining what we mean by effective. And that's not as obvious as it might seem at first. Now, I've been a product manager and a product marketing manager in the software industry, so I understand the variety of concerns that we deal with in the job. You might use webinars for internal communications, maybe to your sales force, or for outreach to business partners and analysts. Sometimes you're trying to generate sales leads. Your measure of success for a webinar is going to vary based on your goals. I'm going to circle back to this concept towards the end of our session today, and hopefully you'll see why it's important to clearly identify your goals and success criteria before starting a webinar. And I like to present things in terms of a 6-step program that I put together. I guess I'm a little too lazy to present a full 12-step program like the self-help groups do. I use some alliteration to help you remember things, from planning and production onto promotion of your event, preparing it, doing the presentation, and then a fairly macabre-sounding post-mortem when everything's over. Let's get right into it. I'll start with planning. And the first thing you want to do is usually the place where people make mistakes first. And that is thinking of the subject in the terms of your audience. Most of us as product managers think about something that we have that's useful information that we want to present to the world. And instead, we need to think about why would somebody care to listen to this. I could have titled this presentation today, My Approach to Webinars, and you wouldn't care. Why should you care what my approach is? Instead, I framed it, how to make your webinars more effective. Suddenly, that has a value proposition for you. Think about that in the same way. If you're doing something like a new product release where you want to inform people of new features, don't just say new features of Release 6. Say how the new release will make you more efficient or benefits for upgrading to our new Release 6. And now you're starting to think like your audience, and it's going to bring them in. The second thing I like to do when planning, and this may surprise people, is look at the timing. And I do this very early on because it forces me to concentrate on my audience again. Where are they located geographically? How many people do I think I'm going to be serving? And that tells me how many events I'm going to need. Can I do it all in one, for instance, as we are today, because we have primarily a North American audience. And so we do it in the early morning, but during work hours for the West Coast, and a little more midday for the East Coast. That's very typical. And you'll also find for a business-to-business market, you're usually going to present events Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. That avoids the weekend crunch times and people who are taking long weekends. If you're dealing with a business-to-consumer market, of course, that's entirely different. You may choose to do your events on weekends or in the evening hours, preferably a little after dinner and before the majority of primetime viewing starts. So this will help you concentrate on what you're going to need later as you start looking at things